exciting edition of Comics Should Smell Good here at Zanadu Comics in Seattle. Oregon is back with us.
Yes.
We rescued you from the dark multiverse of smog that was Seattle last week.
Right. Why has it got to be the dark multiverse, though? Of course I disappeared and you're like, oh, he's probably in the dark multiverse, man.
Well, we were thinking of like the whole, like, you know, the heat, the fog is lifted.
There was the Dark Force bubble.
The Dark Force bubble, Secret Empire
Dark Force
kind of stuff,
bubble,
you know.
dark multiverse. That is. Oh, well,
Because people don't want to read stories about light things. They want dark, heavy, soul-crushing.
I guess so.
Storyline.
And you know what?
That's
because
too
you're
bad.
Back, we're going to kick it off with you.
Because you look like you're something that's not dark and soul-crushing.
I have something light. I have something glorious. A warrior of light has returned. Tad Ghostal is back in Space Ghost #1. Future Quest is over, but the quest returns here from Jeff Parker and Ariel Olivetti, who actually has a history with the character. Little known fact, he drew a whole Space Ghost miniseries like 10 years ago, when honestly no one cared about Space Ghost at all. Still no one cares about Space Ghost, but he didn't even have a TV show still back then.
True.
Like, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, cancelled for years. And they were just like, oh, well, let's do a Space Ghost comic. Let's give him a dark, gritty origin story. This is not that. Thankfully, this is smiling, wrist blasting, hanging out with kids in a monkey Space Ghost. So this looks like a lot of fun moving forward, and it's also got a sweet cover by Steve Rude.
I have something dark and depressing for you because why else would I? Fourth volume of I'm a Hero, hands down the greatest zombie comic book ever made. To hell with Walking Dead. Walking Dead is garbage compared to the I Am Hero here, alright? Kengo Hanazawa brings you this frightfully human saga of the zombie apocalypse, based in Japan, where it follows one guy who has the license to have a firearm in Japan. And if you don't know, it is illegal to own firearms in Japan. Even the police don't get guns, which is why the police don't shoot people.
Weird how that works.
Weird. But anyway, this is volume 4. This is getting deep in it. I read the first 2 like in one sitting and was just horrified. And getting back into this world, it's just hard to explain. Just read it, jump in, get into it. The zombies aren't even the scariest part. It's more about how we deal with it. And this really kind of crappy main character. He's not really a good guy, like, at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, he just, you know, has a big shotgun that obviously comes in handy when dealing with zombies.
My first pick is dark, but you're going to be excited and uplifted by it because you're so thrilled that Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder are back together again, the Batman team, for Dark Knight's Metal. You've heard a lot about it.
Metal.
It kind of set up in the Forge and the casting, and now this big event is here. Batman's been keeping secrets all over the world, and as we're learning, there is a dark multiverse full of evil Batman and all kinds of cool things. It goes way back into time, in DC's time. It goes all over the globe to Gotham City. It goes to this huge gladiatorial arena where you're seeing the Justice League members fight it out. A lot of this is tied into, because it's metal, it ties into the nth metal, which is involved in a certain recently deceased superhero, and there's lots of cool stuff in here, and just really exciting to see Scott Snyder play with the entire DC universe and see what he does with it. And big event, lots of and there's lots of cool there's this whole new line of kind of comics coming from it, and we've already seen the seeds of who some of these characters are, but you'll see them in here. And some of the characters that Scott Snyder introduced in his Batman run, we kind of find out there's been a long game, and it's all going to play out here. So it's great action, great fun, and if you like the long game like I do, lots of mysteries, this is the start of the payoff right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reading through that first issue was a delight. The first 2 prequel issues, they kind of started like bring out all these characters you haven't seen in the DC universe in a long time, and they're not slowing down with that stuff at all. I am going to fight back the darkness here with something fun and light and, okay, a little bit murdery. This is Spy Seal #1 from Rich Tommaso, one of the hardest working living cartoonists. This is his newest Image series, a sort of tribute to Tintin, honestly. I mean, just look at this first page right here, come on. but it's beautiful. Yeah. It's really, really, really slick. Just like the title says, Britain's slickest secret agent. You know, because he's a seal and they hang out in the water and they get all slick, and it's a funny joke. But the line work here is just beautiful. The cartooning is top notch, and it's really, really, really dense too. So you will actually feel like you're getting a whole, like, you know, story out of your comic. It's insane.
I too have something light and fun. This is DC's best book, Super Sons, number 7. Pete Tomasi and Jorge Jimenez just killing it on this book. Damian and Robin teaming up in this story arc. They see the Teen Titans, who are under Robin's control, come into play here, and Robin's a total dick. Like, the Teen Titans show up, and he's on surveillance. He's on stakeout with Superboy, and what's he do? He just is like, yeah, Superboy, you're not old enough, you're not cool, we're just gonna leave. And just leaves poor Superboy on the friggin', you know, rooftop of Metropolis, and the kid's gotta, like, jump back to his house. And he goes back home and he eats a bunch of ice cream and sits in front of the TV. Like, I'm feeling it, alright? Like, I feel your pain, man.
Dude, Damian's like 12. How is he gonna tell someone he can't join the Teen Titans?
He can kill, like, half the Justice League.
True.
You know, what are you gonna do? Alright, you don't really mess with that. But truly, this is, I don't care what you, this is the best book DC puts out. It is gloriously fun. It's really pure superhero stuff, and it is just gorgeous.
For my next pick, you are cordially invited to probably the strangest, deadliest, most dangerous dinner party at Wayne Manor you've probably ever had. There is a very unusual, the War of Jokes and Riddles has been going on. It's set kind of in the past, but it's kind of revealing this big, weird war between the Joker and the Riddler, obviously, and all the people who take sides. But Tom King and Michael Jennings take this to a really strange place, to stately Wayne Manor, as they say, for a dinner party of supervillains. With just a weird twist.
What's Alfred got to say about that?
Exactly. That's the thing, is there's all this kind of cool, there's weird, like the whole thing they finally did with the Kite Man, and Tom King is just having a lot of fun, and he's definitely making Batman his own, and it's really awesome fun. And there's kind of once again, a long end game for this, but it's what happened during this war that's going to affect what happens next with Batman and Catwoman. So another interesting twist in the war here. With literally, it's just strange. I really like the Joker, the way they're doing the Joker in this, and you'll enjoy like dinner with the Joker.
There you go.
So my not my last book, my next book here, something a bit sad. Kind of came up on me out of nowhere, but this is the final issue of Ultimate Squared. They have jumped ahead to number 100 because that's what Marvel does now. Last issue was number 9, but we're not going to talk about that. The war of cosmic concepts and universal shapers and celestial beings is apparently coming to an end in this issue, abruptly. Al Ewing has been forced to conclude this epic saga, and what better way than to have a team up? The Ultimates and the Ultimates. And in true Marvel fashion, they're going to punch each other first. Truly one of the most engrossing superhero sagas of the last, like, 5 years, easily. This is what they should have been basing all of their events around for the last, like, since, you know, Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But Marvel has opted for, you know, bigger name events, like Civil War and Secret Empire, I guess. But at the same time, we have to be glad that this book didn't get dragged down too hard. It was already saddled with tie-ins here and there and artist changes. So thank you, Al Ewing. Thank you very much. You're not going to watch this video. I know you're not, but I'm glad you're doing your thing. And hopefully, we'll get more down the line.
Hopefully. My next pick, I bring you the most affordable comic book of this week. $1. Screw those dollar comics. That's like the high price here, all right? $1. That's right. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, returns. She's one of the oldest female kind of super pulp characters in comic books. She was also the first woman to ever have her own self-titled comic book before Wonder Woman. And this is Marguerite Bennett, Christina Treehall, and art by local superstar Moritat, with colors by Andre Simankiewicz. And this is a kind of half issue that sees Sheena hopping around her Amazon jungle with her Amazon jungle friends. And a strange drone satellite crashes into there, and of course Sheena's not having it, and she's got to go kill the white man. That's pretty much how we end here. We end with this picture of this man looking really confused and clearly going to come into contact with the sharp edge of Sheena's blade. So yeah, 1 quarter, check it out. Fun, adventure, jungle action. And also, interesting note, the guy that created, or co-wrote Die Hard and co-created the Bruce Willis character owns Sheena, and is also responsible for this reboot. So,
What?
yeah. This is Sheena by way of Die Hard. Maybe
Wow.
Bruce Willis will pop up at some point and be like, yippee-ki-yay, but I wouldn't put it past him.
You never know what you're going to learn on this show. So.
True.
My next book is Astonishing X-Men #2. Charles Soule continues his brand new adventure with a really interesting lineup of X-Men with a lot of history together, like Gambit and Rogue and Archangel and Psylocke and
Phantom
of course, Phantom X.
Yes.
And as we learned, it all started with an attack on all these telepaths all over the world. Then we learned the Shadow King was back. I'm not spoiling because it was just out there everywhere, and there he is right there. So the war now goes into the astral plane, and what's interesting, I won't give away the big last page of it. It was probably on the internet somewhere, but anyway, it really ties in. What he does is it makes it feel new and cool and exciting, yet if you're an old school fan like me who's been reading forever, there's lots of cool little homages because, of course, it's the Shadow King. He was one of the first villains that Professor X ever fought way back Amal Farak, and so it ties into all this history, and he's really going to mess with our minds. It's called The Life of X, and our artist Mike Deodato joins him for the 2nd chapter of this kind of all-star epic X-Men battle. Probably, of all the new ones of the Resurrection, this might be my favorite. I'd love for Kitty Pryde to be in everything, but I love the other Kitty Pryde book as well. But this kind of has that epic feel of when they did something really super radical with the X-Men. And this is what happened in issue 1. So there you go.
All right, one last book for you from me. This is as part of the amazing tribute that DC is doing to Kirby, the Sandman Special #1. Yes, that's a Paul Pope cover right there. Yes, this comic is drawn by John Bogdanove, probably the squattiest Superman artist to ever draw Superman since Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And yes, they did pull out the deepest of Kirby cuts. The collage page. Possibly one of the most underappreciated things in Kirby's repertoire. The collage page was a signature of the weird issues of Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
The really weird ones.
Yeah.
And what weirder Kirby character than the Sandman? Yes, the Sandman, the gas mask wearing creature of the night who would go around and gas people, and then Kirby was like, oh, let's throw him in yellow tights and give him some monster sidekicks. Because, okay, why not?
It's Kirby. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, this is the most Kirby of all of the Kirby tribute issues they've done so far. Also, coincidentally, the best looking. It's almost like you stray further from the formula and it gets worse.
Oh, my God.
I don't know, man. It's great.
And my last pick is a book that I'm very happy to see the return of. #0 came out last month, but #1, the final chapter in Matt Wagner's epic fantasy trilogy, Mage, The Hero Denied. #1 is finally here. It only took 15 years. Really, 15 years. But that's okay. In 15 years, Matt Wagner has accumulated all sorts of life experiences that he has worked into this character. And this character has since become kind of like this weird meta-layered type of thing where it reflects reality, or does reality reflect the comic book while the creator's making it, that kind of deal. Follows the adventures of Kevin Matchstick, who is the descendant of the King Arthur. He's the Pendragon, and he's got a badass glowing baseball bat instead of Excalibur, the sword. And this series sees him as the old man now, and all these up-and-coming young kids with names like the Stees. And they're really bad at fighting monsters, and they don't do their homework. Just, they probably read the tagline on Facebook and were like, hey, there's some monsters over here, let's go attack them. Inevitably that leads to their death or horrible things, and Matt, is kind of doing a little nice commentary here on the youth of today. So yeah, very excited. New #1, Matt Wagner, Mage.
My final pick is Generations the Best. Number one, because they are the best, they are what they do. And that would be Laura, aka X-23, who's now the only Wolverine. And in this time-twisted moment of what's going to be leading up to Marvel Legacy, she is in a new adventure with the original Wolverine. Not Old Man Logan, not Extreme X-Men Logan, not all the other Logans from all other places. This is the Ain't Nothing Like the Real Thing, baby. This is Logan, James Howlett. How are they together? Who cares? They're together, and they're slicing and dicing some hand ninjas, and there's Sabretooth in there, and it's an awesome adventure with lots of cool violence and some bonding. Do they really know who each other really are at this point? You have to tune in to find out. It's Tom Taylor and Ramon Rosales with the latest chapter with Marvel bringing together heroes that share the same name as we build up to Marvel Legacy, the big new initiative, you could say, that kind of like starts things over again. Including original numbering. Not again, but a lot of cool new stuff. It celebrates the past, the present, and the future, of which I'm a part of a lot of it. So there we go.
Indeed.
Comics should smell good, and these should all smell delightful.
Absolutely. And this weekend is the start of our 42nd anniversary sale. That's right, 42 years we have been in business. Almost the entire store is on sale, minus the new comic books. Check our website or Facebook or any social media stuff for details, and make sure you come in. It's the 19th through the 26th, so it's a week-long thing. Make sure you tell your friends, and this is really like our super good once-a-year sale.
Good stuff.
There's some very, very good discounts that the boss has been willing to do. So come in, get some comics, and support your local comic book store. Thanks for watching. See you next week.